Hey, Frugal friends, so remember, this is my list. This is not a 10 commandments of what you must do or else you are not frugal. Use this list as a way to spark inspiration. Maybe you never considered that people could even live without buying some of these items. Or maybe you just want to see what the crazy frugal lady doesn't spend money on. It's okay if it's a nosy thing. Let's get right to it. Number 1, napkins. We don't buy napkins in our house. It's been years and years and years since we bought napkins. When we got married, we got lots of gift certificates to Bed Bath & Beyond. We used some of them to buy just a nice set of cloth napkins, and we've been using these daily for the last 5 years. To be honest, at this point, they're starting to get a little run down looking, and so we're planning on getting another set that's nicer for when people come over, and this can just be our grungy set for at home. But we don't ever use napkins. We also have a rag bin of cut up old pieces of fabric. That is mostly what we used when our toddlers make messes. It doesn't create more laundry for me. I just throw it in with a towel load, and it's really that easy. Speaking of towel loads, also don't buy dryer sheets. A couple years ago, I switched to using the wool ball system. These are great. They're guaranteed for something crazy like 1,500 washes, which we're nowhere close to hitting. Next thing we don't buy in our house, we don't buy any disposable plates, cups, bowls, silverware, any of that stuff. Honestly, we still have a big tote in our basement that's full of some of those items that we still have from our wedding. Although I will have a caveat here that my husband and I recently were discussing that it might be a good use of money when baby number 3 arrives and we're trying to take care of 2 toddlers and a newborn, not worrying so much about doing the dishes. Having some disposable dishes might be a real big lifesaver. While we're in the kitchen, I'll mention we don't buy pans. I used all exclusively non-stick cookware for years and years and years. And I tried cast iron and I just thought, no, I can't figure it out. It's too complicated. No way, not for me. I realized the problem is that with cast iron, it gets better the longer you use it. And so I was not giving it enough time before making a judgment call. I was using it for a week or 2 and saying, it just doesn't work. But now I've got 2 cast iron pans of 2 different sizes. They literally don't leave my stovetop because I use at least one of them every single day. And because of that, it builds up a seasoning over time and it becomes non-stick. It's amazing. And now I'm never gonna have to buy another pan again, which is great. And a cast iron pan is $20. So $20 for a pan that will last you the rest of your life is chef's kiss, frugal living level. All right, next, I no longer buy disposable menstrual products. I honestly didn't even know about this and that this was an option until last year, I think it was. After I kind of got used to the idea of, oh, cloth diapers aren't that weird. Reusable menstrual products are not that weird either. There's a couple different kinds. I mean, you can use the cups, you can use the period underwear they call it, or of course you can just get the cloth pads that you can put in the wash. We're not gonna get that detailed on this video today. And now I don't ever have to buy tampons again, which can get really expensive. Thing 8 that I don't buy anymore. I don't buy body wash or shower gel. And I promise, I do shower. My hair is wet now. I don't use liquid soap in the bath anymore. I switched over to the bar soap, which yes, of course, I also do the little trick where you stick the little sliver of last bar of soap and you get it to adhere to this one so you're not wasting any soap at all. It's a fun little trick. What was I talking about? Body wash, shower gel, yeah. Don't use it anymore. I find that it doesn't lather as well and that it definitely doesn't last as long as I can make a bar soap last. By the way, if this video is being helpful to you, leaving a like does help the algorithm spread it to more people who might benefit from the information, so thank you. While I'm at it, I'll also mention body spray. Don't buy body spray anymore. Oh my lord, I used to live for Bath & Body Works. That was my favorite store in the mall when I was a teenager and in college. I feel like I used to live under this cloud of fragrance. My husband bought me an actual bottle of perfume for Christmas a couple years ago, and one tiny squirt of that, and now I smell lovely all day. And I don't have to keep reapplying this probably toxic cloud of scent. While we're strolling down the health and hygiene section of the store, let's also throw makeup into the mix. I used to buy makeup because I was trying to be someone I wasn't. I was hearing these messages of, if people can see imperfections on your face, they're always going to judge you for it. It's not like I did a scientific test to see whether or not people treated me differently, whether I did or did not wear makeup. But I was never very good at makeup. I'm very sensitive to textures and sensations, and the feeling of stuff on my face was just intolerable to me, so I would always be wiping it off, and I never wanted to practice because I hated the feeling of it on my face. So after a while, I've just accepted that I'm just not a person who likes makeup, and I'm not a person who's going to buy and use makeup. Once in a great while, I'll put on a little mascara. And I probably need to relook at the rules for like how long you can keep a bottle of mascara before it expires. I know there's rules about that. Not buying makeup has led me to be a much happier person. I know that's not how it is for most, I don't know, women especially. I know my sister really enjoys like doing her face. She feels good about herself. And she has fun doing it, like it's a hobby thing for her to like figure out new techniques and play with new colors, and that's good. It's just not my thing. Okay, next thing is a big one. We will never, ever, ever buy a new car in this family. Both my husband and I came into our marriage with cars that we had bought brand new, and we really regretted those decisions. So when we discovered that baby number 3 was on the way, turns out you can't fit 3 car seats in the back of a small size sedan. That is when good old St. Catherine the Sienna came into our lives. A nice used 2011 minivan. We've been just so happy with that. All right, swinging way on the other side of the financial impact spectrum from brand new cars to houseplants. I don't buy houseplants. I do buy plants, seedlings, seeds, for my garden outside for like food that I grow for the family. But houseplants, I don't buy houseplants anymore. I've found that there's so many people out there who are trying to get rid of houseplants because they're like, oh, I have no green thumb, I'm killing them. And I'll be like, yes, give them to me. Or I've just learned how to propagate houseplants. Like there's so many different kinds where you can like snip off a couple leaves, pop it in water for a couple days, and boom, you have a brand new houseplant. And of course, the other big problem with houseplants is that I've got toddlers running all over the place and very few places where I can put a houseplant that's safe from a toddler. So it also just doesn't make much sense for the season of our lives to have like lots of houseplants. Oh man, someday I'll have a house, or at least a room, or at least a corner of a room that has like all these windows and it's just got plants everywhere. And I'll be like, no toddlers to destroy them. It'll be great. But that's not my life right now. All right, another thing I don't buy anymore is any kind of physical subscription. I'm talking like meal kit delivery services, subscribe and save options on Amazon, magazine subscriptions, kids activity or toy subscriptions, anything like that. Anything that gets delivered to my house once a month or with any interval of regularity, I've just found that it's either a convenience I don't need right now, or a luxury item that we don't need right now, and so they don't make sense for our family. But I know that other people have different experiences. If you've found like the golden goose of subscriptions where it's actually making sense for you, I'd be very curious to know about what options you found out there, so you can leave that in the comment box below. All right, here's another big one, and I know that my mom, if she watches these videos, will disagree strongly with this one, but I don't buy holiday decor ever for any holiday. Like even Christmas, I don't buy any Christmas decor. I find that there's a lot of people in our life who feel very strongly about Christmas decor, and they want to give us all kinds of holiday items, or people want to get rid of holiday items. Like every time I go to the thrift store, they've always got they're overflowing with people's like hangovers of consumerism that they realized, I don't actually like this. So if I ever got a hankering for a holiday decor item, I know that I could get it free online basically whenever I wanted it. And actually, I'm on my local Facebook Buy Nothing group. Through the Christmas season, there were tons of people who were asking, hey, does anyone have holiday lights? Hey, does anyone have an extra Christmas tree? Hey, does anyone have like certain kinds of outdoor decoration-y things? And they've got multiple offers from multiple people being like, yes, take my stuff. There's just so much stuff out there in the world that people bought at one time thinking it was useful and don't want it anymore. While we're thinking about holiday stuff, the other one is greeting cards. This might be like a generational thing. Man, I don't get greeting cards. I know a lot of other people really enjoy them, and that's great. We don't. And I definitely am not gonna buy like an individual greeting card. I don't know if that makes me weird or rude or out of touch, but we don't buy them. All right, let's switch for a second. We'll go to the last section just about like some food stuffs. One, my husband and I do go out occasionally to restaurants, much less frequently with toddlers in tow, but occasionally if he and I get a night alone together, we'll go to a restaurant, but I don't get drinks. Even if we're like, yeah, we're gonna celebrate. I rarely will get anything other than water. I used to work in a restaurant, so I know the markup is just insane on them. It just doesn't make any sense. And even if I would enjoy it, because I mean, there are drinks that I would enjoy, would I enjoy it like $6 worth? I don't think I would enjoy it $6 more than I would just a nice cold glass of water. And I really dislike soda, which is the next one. Soda, we don't ever buy soda in our house. I didn't grow up with soda. That's just not something that I was used to, and I can't stand the carbonation, like all the bubbles. I can't stand it personally. My husband did grow up with soda. That was a thing that was regularly around when he was growing up. It was something he weaned himself off of, I think in like college, but yeah, we don't ever have soda around the house, and man, is that a money saver for us. Microwave steamable like frozen veggie bags, we don't buy those either. It's just so easy for us to take the whole contents of the bag, dump it in the cast iron pan, which is already sitting there waiting on the counter, and take a couple minutes to stir fry it up. Maybe it takes 2 minutes longer than how long it takes you to microwave the bag in the microwave. But when I was a single person and I didn't know how to cook and I didn't know how long things took, I was kind of afraid of the stovetop and figured it would be like, I just assumed it would be so much more complicated and take so much longer, so I never bothered with it and I just did the stuff in the microwave. But it cost a decent amount more. I also very rarely, like I can't remember the last time I bought like a pre-packaged container of spice or herb mixtures. I'll show you what we do have. We make a lot of our own homemade seasoning blends, like taco mix, Italian seasoning, Cajun seasoning. If we want to use anything like that, any of that kind of stuff, it's really easy to just like, you know, Pinterest. Pinterest is your friend. I just go on Pinterest and I look up, probably every time I have to make it, I have to re-look up the recipe, but they're very simple. Like there's, I don't know, 8 different herbs or spices that I already have in my spice cabinet. Just mix them all together in a bowl. I've always got a couple of those old empty spice jars on hand, and I'll just, once I've mixed up a spice mix, of taco mixture or whatever, I'll just put it in there, and now I've got taco mix that'll last me for a couple months. And they taste the same, exactly the same. Last, one of the things that I started buying when my first was a toddler was those like little individual packets or like pouches of pureed foods. I definitely remember I started buying them because I had coupons for them. And so I figured, oh yeah, it's a great way to like expose her to a couple different flavors. I don't do that anymore. No, we have a packet of these little individual, they open like this. You put in, we use them mostly for like yogurt and applesauce, but if you're gonna make homemade purees of like whatever, ooh, smoothies, we also do smoothies. We'll especially for my young son who is less coordinated. If they're like thicker smoothies, you know, and then you zip them up and then they function the exact same way as one of the disposable pouches that you'd get at the store. I think it came in a pack of 12 and we've been using these a couple times a week, every week for the last couple of years. They're doing great. You can put them in the dishwasher, we do. But the corners, the very inside-y corners don't get super clean by putting them in the dishwasher, so they are like a hand wash thing, but still so convenient. So much more affordable than the pouches. So, and I have a ton of those other thoughts about like frugal mom baby hacks. So if that's something you're interested in, another video on another day, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I'm very pregnant, I'm very tired, and I'm going to go to bed now. Bye, YouTube. I've always, whoop, whoop. Aww, sad day. I'm not getting up to get that again. I'm not moving.